All right, 365 Days of Horsemanship, day 38. Yeah, pretty good day, actually. Had a little bit more time today, which is lovely. I definitely am looking forward to a time in my life when I will have more time more often. I had time today to take Mia into the arena, and I went to get her. And yesterday I had come to take her into the arena, and it was a no. And so we played around with getting the halter on and then grazed. And so I wasn't really sure what I was going to find today when I came to get her. And I was really hoping that it was going to be positive, because I really didn't want to have that no 2 days in a row. But actually, and I think it did help that I was checking the herd today as well. So she was coming up, she was interested. I put one of the horses in a feeding pen. And she's like, oh my God, what's going on? Is there food? And there wasn't any food, but like, still, I think just the interrupting her out of that food cycle actually was quite powerful for her, that she wasn't so like in the freeze. And there, yeah, when I went over with the halter, pretty much immediately she was like, yeah, hey. And then I kind of only had to like be a little bit supportive where I'm walking around and just like thinking about asking her. And she's like, yeah, I'm coming. It's cool. That's fine. Let's go. And just very, like emotionally relaxed. Like I can really feel now the tightness, like when she's like stiff emotionally, I can feel it now compared to when she's much more engaged and like relaxed. So that was really nice. I brought her up and into the arena, and definitely again I can see some progression with some of the things we've been playing with. So I was playing a little bit with just pushing her shoulder rather than just touching it, and that was going quite well. Like the yielding was going quite well, and just like yielding, putting that little bit of pressure until she feels better, and that was going quite well, and did that on both sides, and that was going quite well. Then we did a little bit of work on the trotting. We're still not trotting, but it is better. Today we tried it for the first time on the right hand side as well as the left hand side. The right hand side is difficult for her. She's much more bracy, much more pushy and dominant on the right side than on the left side. And if she has her preference, like, you'll never be on the right side. So that was really good as well, to get to play with that for the first time today. That was good. Definitely, I felt like I didn't make any bad choices. I probably could have explored it more, but I didn't really I didn't have all day, you know. And it was positive. It was, 2% improvement. So that's really good. We played a little bit with the mounting block, which again went really well. Today I managed to be in flow, to be at rest with her with my hand on her back. And that's a big improvement, definitely. That's a big step. And I discovered the next thing that's too difficult. And the next thing that's too difficult is if I then sweep my hand over her other side, the side that I'm not standing on. That's too much for her. But that's okay, because that just gives us something to work on with the approach and retreat, to get to a place where she feels like that's okay and that's safe and nothing's going to happen. I definitely wouldn't say that it's, I guess it's freedom-based training, but it's very far on the training side, because I'm asking the same question over and over again. She's free to say no, and I sort of try to adapt to that. But I think there's something dominant about being that persistent. But I'm okay with it. I think what I would like to get to initially with the mounting and the riding is tolerance. I think I would really like to get to tolerance, and I think that's enough for now. I think if we can get to a place where she's not intolerant and she's tolerant, then that's progress, right? And then when we're there, then we can kind of review. So yeah, it's not like in the ideal world how I'd want to do it, but also I don't have 20 years and she's not 5. So there is a certain amount of I think acceptance of the reality of things, and trying to kind of have that balance between complete sort of freedom and the slowest possible path versus what's actually kind of realistic to keep us on a good journey. So we're just going to see how it goes. I'm hoping, when I say tolerance, I'm kind of hoping for tolerance acceptance, because I want her to be curious. I think, to be honest, a lot of what I'm doing with her is in the tolerance acceptance place. I don't know that there's really a lot of what we do in the arena that she does enjoy, you know. And so really, I think, you know, it's an unrealistic goal for me to be hanging around playing with that on the ground until I can ride right now. And I feel good about it. I think her feeling okay is the first step. I think you have to feel okay with things before you can enjoy them. So I think, you know, getting to a place where she feels okay, that's a good starting goal, you know. And then once she feels okay with things, then I can say, okay, how do I make sure that you're enjoying this? You know, how do I like make it that you're getting something out of this? And I think that will come along. I think the enjoyment will come alongside the freedom-based training stuff that I'm doing outside of that, so that me being with her feels like a state of flow and she feels comfort from that. I think that is something that will happen with the long-term journey. And so I'm okay with that too. I think with the tasks, as long as I feel like I'm acknowledging her feelings, if we have intolerance, we're working through that, we're getting to a place where we're in acceptance and we're okay with things, and then I think enjoyment will blossom the more and more I facilitate her having a part in the conversation, hopefully. So that was good. I did fall off the mounting block at one point, so I think I'm going to need to stop using the rubbish substitute for a mounting block that I've been using and start using the actual mounting block, which again might change the situation. So I don't know, we'll see what happens when I change and start using that. Yeah, that's going to be another change of context, so we'll see how that goes. We had a nice little play at Liberty. The Liberty definitely feels like it's kind of coming along. I think the Liberty's really teaching me to just keep experimenting, keep trying things, keep kind of like looking for those good moments, and then when it feels good, yeah, that's it. Whatever that might be, if it's walking together or stopping together or trotting together, whatever it is. But it felt like a good session. Felt like a positive session. I felt like she got something out of it. We finished on a nice yawn and a lick and chew. She had some grass and I did a couple plats and that felt okay. Yeah, took her back and she didn't run off straight away. So it was a really good session. And then I had a good session with Lawrence too, actually. I was quite chilly. The wind had kind of turned a little bit. And so I wanted to be a little bit more like, I wanted to have a little bit more movement today. And so I came in with my kind of walking around because I wanted to. And I got a couple focus changes out of him. And then I started thinking, so two good things have happened with Lawrence today. The first is that I've inquired about finding a physiotherapist because I really would like some advice about how to build like a strength and conditioning programming for him at this age, with the goals being like joint mobility and core strength, and I mean a little bit of muscle mass regaining would be nice just to try and help him stay warm, because I think genetically he's just not the kind of horse that holds fat easily, and so if he can have a little bit of muscle, that will keep him warm as well. So yeah, so I inquired about that, and I think inquiring about that and having that, solidifying that goal for him, that we'll try to start some kind of program, just also made me think about the fact that like what I want for him is really that when I come in, he feels like I make his body feel better. So when I came in today, I kind of had that in mind. I thought, well, maybe I can massage him into a better place. Maybe I can rub him into a better place. And I started like underneath doing the circles that they do when they're looking for core strength to make them like tighten their abs. And there's always been an exercise that he's struggled with, but I just kept doing it until he looked around at me like a bit curious. And then I left it. And then I did some work like on his bum, just rubbing and rubbing and rubbing, just trying to like get him to engage those glutes until he got curious. And then I went to his neck and I was rubbing. He's got like quite a big like soft tissue lump in his neck. And I was kind of playing around with that. And yeah, got him to actually look up at me. He did that once, but went straight back down to the grass. So I started again and he came right up and like touched his nose to me. And I was like, yeah, nice. And I left. And that was really good. I think that was the second really good thing that happened, is that like, I think I've decided to just try and take this time pressure off. I have this weird idea in my head that I don't spend enough time with him, that my sessions with him are too short and I should be spending more time, and I have this guilt about it, and I think I project that onto him. and I'm like, oh, he's upset with me because I'm not spending enough time with him. But I don't think horses see time like we do. I don't think they work in hours and minutes. I think it's about moments, right? And I think in a lot of ways, I think it is quite easy to push Lawrence too hard, and like work for too long, because he is so tolerant of stuff. And actually, I think I need to take that pressure off and not like worry about how short it was. Just like get to a good moment and go, you know, and just see how that goes for a little while. Because today it really felt like there was a good beginning, middle and end to the session. And throughout the session, he got more and more interested. And at the best possible moment, I left. And that is exactly what every session should be, regardless of how much time it is. You know, if I'd have stayed, then, you know, I might have been staying then for ages, or not really sure what else to do to kind of top that moment. So why would I stay? You know, the point is every day that he has that experience that I come, and when I'm there, he feels better. So yeah, so that was a good decision, I think, today. I can just see 2 horses playing in the field, which is really cute. Yeah, so that was two really good decisions today. I'm really happy with that. So yeah, feeling positive, definitely. Excited for tomorrow. Tomorrow, again, I have a little bit more time. So, yeah, definitely excited to use that time wisely. And, yeah, see what it brings.